I was looking for how would you provide the transit, and I looked at a lot of different systems, and I was originally thinking, could you do this with rail? And became convinced by looking at what was happening in the country and around the world that this is the only way you could build in a reasonable length of time at a reasonable cost a mass transit system. You could never accomplish the networks that he's laid out here as a rail system because it would cost billions and billions of dollars. This gives us the ability to build something in a cost-effective manner. They've taken the approach of looking at each corridor separately and treating it separately, so we're not being saddled with every place is going to have 2 lanes, every place is going to, blow out the road network. It really is a system designed to be accommodated within some of the limitations of our infrastructure. That's a big deal in terms of price.
It sounds good, but how are you going to get people to ride buses?
People ride buses all the time. When you can go on the west side of the county and you see people streaming down into D.C. on buses. I know people who ride buses on that side and talk about overcrowding on the buses or buses going by stops that don't have seats. The key to riding buses is the trip has to be comfortable, has to be on time. Buses have to arrive frequently, and that's what this kind of system does. It gets you away from buses every 20 or 30 minutes to the kind of bus service you'd expect at rush hour. And using dedicated lanes, being able to use median strips for buses or curbs lets you stay out of traffic and lets you maintain schedule. And in systems around the country and around the world where you can maintain schedule, you can maintain speed, and the consumer knows that if they go out to a bus stop, the bus is going to get there and take them where they want to go, the systems work. And when systems don't work, it's when buses go off schedule, when they're bollocksed in the same traffic as cars are, and somebody says, what's the difference between riding a bus and riding a car? And I think if we do this right, it'll work like it works in the cities and countries where it's been done the right way. And so it's on us, not just to commit to building it, but it's on us to build it and operate it in the proper way.
It's efficient. What about this timeline? Is it realistic?
This timeline is realistic because it's not he's not doing the entirety of the plan. He's picking the key corridors. 29 is actually really, really easy to do because you have very few curb cuts, you have very few crossing roads. They've made the decision to go through 4 corners correctly. There's going to be some mixed traffic in managed lanes, but the biggest headache from the community's perspective was fear of losing the buildings. There's not going to be any loss of buildings, there's not going to be disruption, taking of houses or anything else. And after that, we can get into Silver Spring with managed lanes.